My name is Dylan Haskins and I'm running as an independent candidate in Dublin South East. My reason for running is severalfold. For starters, I think the Dáil should look like Ireland. At the moment, 70% of TDs are over the age of 50. And when I say it should look like Ireland, I mean in terms of gender and I mean in terms of age. We need more women and we need more young people in politics because you need a diversity of experience and experience in terms of what people have done, but also an experience of perspectives on life as well and what the issues that are important are, which varies according to what age you are. I also think that I've got my background is in doing stuff and solving problem solving, and a lot of that has naturally been in the creative sector because that's one of the biggest problem solving areas. And now I think that type of creativity, the overcoming obstacles, is what's needed to be applied to politics and how we're going to overcome the many obstacles that we face now, but also the ones that we're going to face in the future, which we don't know what they are yet. One of my policies is to start a creative investment fund. And how this would work is, well, I'll start it off by donating a quarter of my annual TD salary to start it off. And then I would connect with a lot of the multinationals based in Ireland have corporate social responsibility funds, which is, they provide this money to better the country that they're in, really, and it makes people working there feel good about the city that they're living in. So if we can connect with those funds as well, and it's that will be really important because people have ideas. There's plenty of gaps in the market, but no one can get the seed capital from the banks to start these projects. So if you provide that capital for people, some of those projects won't work, but some of them will, and they will go on to grow and they will create more jobs because this is about long-term viewing. How is this going to work out in the long term? It's not about short-sightedness. And anyone that promises that they're going to get elected and create 100,000 jobs, it's not true. You're being fooled. But I'm saying that we need to lay the right foundations and create the right conditions for jobs to happen and provide investment where investment's needed. And also, we mightn't have a lot of money, but we do have a lot of resources. So it's how can we use these resources better? There's so many empty spaces. We're in a just recently vacated empty office space right now. All across the city, there's these empty spaces, and there's people with ideas. But sometimes, the rent is too high, or they go in and they have to pay huge rates to the local authorities. So there's these, or they might have to change for a change of use. They might want to do some sorts of workshops in here, but they haven't got the right permission to have public on premises. Really technical things that if we can reduce that bureaucracy, we make it easy for people to do new things rather than always having barriers. Well, I think there's a huge mandate. There's a huge public mandate to renegotiate the terms of the deal, and to look at it in a realistic perspective. If anyone goes bankrupt, you put your debts on the table and you say, this is how much I have. This is what I can afford. No one is going to set terms on someone who's gone bankrupt that they can't repay, because that's not the point. It's, well, what can they afford to pay, and what is realistic, and that has to be determined for any debt repayment. And at the moment, I think our debt is unrepayable with the levels of interest that we have at the moment. So I think there's definitely a mandate, and there's definitely common sense reason to be renegotiating the terms of that deal. And also I think we're with that public mandate, we're in a much stronger position to renegotiate that, and I don't think the previous government had the confidence to do that. Well, I disagree that you won't have power to change legislation. If I'm on a committee, and I would hope that the government of the day will see that I have skills that they don't have, that they would want me to be involved in some of the committees. But also, I will be an independent voice in there. All of the parties are promising political reform. I will be an independent voice in there, holding them to account on that and saying, this is what you all promised in the election. Why aren't there any actions happening on this? And we need that. We need those independent voices to hold them to account, because think of what the opposition is going to be like. Say we have a Labour Fine Gael, overall majority in government. It's going to be a decimated Fianna Fáil who are trying to regroup, and Sinn Féin are the opposition. So I think we need a more diverse range of voices in the opposition. And also, who knows what's going to happen really, because Ireland you know, I said this in my video, but Ireland has changed, and we need to accept that. And just because things haven't happened in the past, you know, we need to bring back debate into Irish parliamentary life. There's no point in just, you know, in voting for something because the whip tells you, or opposing something because you're in the opposition. That doesn't contribute to anything. You know, it's about finding consensus and saying what is the best way forward for Ireland, not for Fianna Fáil, not for Fine Gael, not for Labour, but for the country. And that means finding common ground. And when I'm in there, I will vote with what is a good policy. It doesn't matter whether it's the government, and I will vote against it. You know, I'm not going to vote against something just because I'm in the opposition.